what's going on? My name is Brad, and with me as always is Jamie, and this is Race Car spelled backwards. Jamie, happy Labor Day.
Oh, I thought it was butthole spelled backwards. What's that?
Butthole spelled... That's not still butthole. Butthole spelled backwards.
That's butthole backwards.
Yeah. Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Today.
We're not working on Labor Day.
No, we're not.
Are you supposed to work on Labor Day or actually supposed to take a day off for Labor Day?
I was so confused by what I was supposed to do on Labor Day. I'm actually celebrating the 4th of July all over again today.
Hey, baby, it's the 4th of July.
Not that one.
Oh, it's not. It's the second 4th of July?
You got it. It's
today the 4th?
No.
So we're not even...
I don't know, is it?
We're discombobulated.
Today is the 4th.
Oh, geez, it is the 4th. Happy 4th of September.
So we're celebrating the 4th of September.
Workers of America.
Not the day we gained our independence, but it's the day we didn't work.
It's the day we gained our communism.
From today.
Isn't that what it was celebration of originally?
What was it?
Isn't it a big communist celebration, Labor Day?
I have no idea. And I thought about looking it up before we recorded, but then I didn't really care that much, so I didn't. So if you know what Labor Day is for, congratulations.
I think the worst birthing of a child
happens on Labor Day.
It happened one day a couple hundred years ago.
So maybe,
and the mother was like, "I'm so sick of this labor," and the doctor said, "Oh no, it's been amazing. Your 10 days of labor. We're going to start Labor Day."
I think Labor Day happened during the baby boomer generation after World War II. 9 months later, we had Labor Day. The war ended, the men came home. 9 months later, we had Labor Day.
Do you know it's those boomers that created laziness in the workplace?
Really?
And it's their children, the millennials, that have actually far exceeded their parents' expectations.
Wouldn't the children of the boomers be the Gen X's?
No. We're the children of the forgotten generation.
So your parents were the forgotten generation?
My mom's a boomer. My dad was forgotten. But I remember them.
So the forgotten generation represents like 6% of America, right?
Yes.
So what's the
Xers are the children of the forgottens. The millennials are the children of the boomers.
Well, my mom and dad were Gen Z. I mean,
wow, that's crazy, dude.
Gen X. They're your generation.
But then they had you. Well, they were
millennial
because you're like in a gray area between Gen X and millennial, dude.
Yeah, well, I was real close to being the same gen.
Your parents were popping the children out.
Started young, man.
Oh no, they had you and said no more.
That was it.
we can't deal with two.
They broke the mold. When you turn out this perfect, you stop.
Sure. Now, the last time someone was born like this was 0 BC 0 AD.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Or not.
Did they want to call you Jesus? Jesus Carden.
All right, so this week's episode is going out to Brandon. Brandon, we appreciate you listening each week.
What episode are we on?
74. It's written on the wall.
I know. I thought it was 79 for some reason.
Nope. We have 5 more to
thinking all week. This is 70. We skipped 78 and we're on 79.
We don't just skip the episode because we skip recording.
Oh, we don't?
No.
I would think that would be a dead number after we missed it.
The last show we recorded was 73. This one's 74.
There's a lot of episodes still.
Well, no crap there, sunshine.
100 episodes. What's that going to be? April next year?
Something like that.
All right.
So this episode goes out to Brandon. Brandon listens. We greatly appreciate it. He drives a train. He's an engineer.
Really?
He also honks the horn on the train. But
he drives a train?
Like a real train.
A subway train?
No, like a choo-choo.
That's badass.
I asked him, I said, what do you do on the train? He
said,
it makes all the noise.
Can he get us a ride on the train?
Brandon, you're listening to this episode.
Could that be our
Can you get us a ride
train ball run?
Train ball.
Isn't he from the West Coast, Oregon or Washington State?
We'll have to get up there first.
Well, that would be our drive from here to there.
So we drive from here to there and then we just ride with him?
Yeah.
Like a day trip?
An hour trip. I don't care. Have you ever...
I wonder, do they have bring your podcast host to work day?
Have you ever ridden in the engine of a train? I rode in the front car of a subway and the engineer was sitting there driving it, but it really doesn't count since there's people
I rode
behind them.
I rode on the Polar Express in North Carolina through a trailer park.
Oh, I did Thomas Tank Engine.
To the same trailer park?
Yeah.
I think we rode Thomas the Train, but that was in South Georgia somewhere, like Cordele or something like that.
We did that one too. We did Chattanooga, one.
That's the hillbilliest of hill. I don't know, Tennessee, we're on the Polar Express, and my son's looking out the window as we go through a trailer park going, I don't think this is a real Polar Express, guys.
People in trailer parks get presents too.
No,
They don't.
sitting out there in their rocking chair with their moonshine jugs. It was hillbilly. It was as hillbilly as it gets.
I don't think I ever knew a train engineer.
What you do now? Brandon.
We want to ride your train.
We definitely want to go for
in the engine.
If it's possible. Let us know. And that'll be our trip next February from here to Seattle. Hop a train like a hobo's. We'll just hop on with him after he gets going. We'll just jump on.
Except the Prius is dead.
Yeah.
We need another.
The Prius is suffered a severe injury.
Catastrophic
tree. The snail is no more.
The snail met a tree and the tree won.
Yeah, they got into a fight and the tree definitely won. So
no one was injured. Good thing, except for the snail.
But we did become Cannonball Run champions earlier this year in that snail.
We did.
That Prius got us our Cannonball Run championship. So you need to buy another Prius.
Dude, I've looked at them. I want the same gen because I got the trailer hitch. I got all these modifications on it, and
you got a whole parking lot full of.
I'm going to see one more today, and I'm going to give up on the second gen because what people have been driving to me. Yesterday, I drove an hour from home. Same year. I see from a distance. I met the guy at Facebook Marketplace. I met the guy at a Publix grocery store, and I see this black 2007 Prius coming to me, and I'm like, I sure hope that guy's coming to get groceries. And you know what? The problem is our iPhones are so good. The cars look better in pictures than in real life.
Yeah.
He pulls up, and there's duct tape on the dashboard. And he tells me a mechanic has maintained this car. I pop the hood. I open the oil hole. And there's milk in it. And I'm like, dude, you got a blown head gasket. I said, and then I start grabbing the plastic engine covers and stuff, and they're not attached.
Start falling off.
And I said, dude, you bought this to flip. You don't know shit about cars. No, a mechanic works on it. I said, but all the pins that hold the plastic on the engine in place, no, they were right under the wiper blade. The plastic trim piece. So someone pulled them all out, put them there so they wouldn't forget them, and they forgot them.
Then they forgetted them.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
And then I'm like, hey, can I look at the hybrid battery? And he goes to the back, and he goes, well, the latch doesn't really work. You got to hit it here.
You got to jiggle the handle. You got to jiggle the handle to get it to flush.
And I just said, dude, I'm so not interested. This car isn't. He's like, well, what would you give me? I said,
$1.
Nothing. I don't think it would make it the 45 miles home.
He probably didn't. He probably had to junk it after he left there.
He's like, I replaced the battery 60,000 miles ago. I said, you got the receipt? No. I'm like, okay, so you're still a liar.
All right, Brandon. So we're going to come to Seattle in February?
March? It won't be in the snail.
Not in the Prius, but in something. We'll get out there. You got to hook us up with a train ride. You just tell your boss it is bring your favorite podcast host to work day,
and we'll sign a waiver.
Yeah, we'll sign anything we need to sign. Like if we fall off the side of the train and die, it's not your fault.
We'll just increase our life insurance through work.
Yeah,
open enrollments in a couple months.
Exactly. So we're good to go. So just we got a few months to make this decision. So just let us know, Brandon. We would greatly appreciate it.
If you can't do it,
just let us know. Yeah, we're not trying.
I've got an engineer's cap somewhere from when I rode on trains at Stone Mountain as a kid because I love trains.
Choo choo.
And we'll get overalls.
Well, I rode on the Stone Mountain train. Yeah, I was trying to think of what trains I've ridden on. So I did Thomas. I did the Polar Express. Did the Stone Mountain train. I did the one at Six Flags, the mine train. Does that count?
You know, we had a guy at church that. It was a golf cart with a fake train up front, and he towed cars with people in the back.
I don't think that counts.
Doesn't?
No.
Oh.
Does the train at the Snow White ride?
Hey, when I was in college,
Or what?
they ran a train on someone, but I did not participate. I just heard about it and was interviewed by detectives.
Yeah, let's not talk about that story on the show.
But it's not the same thing.
So the Snow
Since I didn't
White-
ride the train, it doesn't count for me.
Nope. So speaking of the snail dying, Jimmy Buffett also passed away over the weekend at
The
the age
same
of
day,
76.
wasn't it? Poor guy.
I don't know if it was the same day, but he lost his battle to skin cancer.
I'm also afflicted with the same disease.
Thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
One day you'll be reading about me, and you'll say he had no hit songs.
I saw Jimmy Buffett in concert 3 times. I mean, I like Jimmy Buffett.
When he was 3?
No,
How the hell did you see him? Oh yeah, your cousin,
my 20s.
uncle, or somebody took you there.
No, my uncle never took me to see him. But when I was a little kid, my uncle introduced me to Jimmy Buffett. But when I was
You went on your own volition?
in my 20s, I went.
What?
I took my wife one time.
What?
Dude, Buffett was awesome. I still like Jimmy.
Was he country, rock, or folk? I'm not even sure where to pigeonhole him.
But that's because you can't. He's Jimmy Buffett.
I don't hate the guy.
That's all it is.
Dude, you hear there's about 5 or 6 of his songs. I know every word to.
But that he's island music, I guess. I don't really know what
Oh
genre.
no, he's definitely played on cruises and at the beach.
Yeah.
I saw a cover band.
Buffett and Marley would have been cool.
My mom had a house in this community, beachfront community. And part of, I guess, the homeowners association fees was like Wednesday nights or Thursday nights or something. Some cover band would come play. I saw a Jimmy Buffett cover band. I think they call it Jim Eating at the Buffet or something like that. They were only at Myrtle Beach.
It's Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefers. How can you not like Jimmy Buffett?
I know
man?
the name, but I
Love
think it had something to do with
I love Jimmy.
reefer or just
You think?
or just the reef itself.
No, it has something to do with the reefer. I guarantee it. Let's just be real. We're talking about Jimmy Buffett.
You know, he went to Auburn.
Did he really? For a concert?
Isn't our friend
We have an Auburn
Scotty? He graduated from there. Do you think he went to school at the same time as Warren or Jimmy Buffett? Not Warren Buffett. He makes
You
money,
knew him.
not songs. I did meet Warren Buffett once.
All right, you ready to jump into some stories?
Let's do some stars.
Stories from around the country. I think I stayed in America this time. So we're going to start with Florida. That's my favorite, man. Florida's the best. Like, I sent Jamie a text yesterday, and it's like a Florida native. Just can't beat them, man.
You know,
You can always count on a Florida native.
you'll see him every time you go to Florida.
If you mix Florida native and meth, you get the state bird of Florida.
It's beautiful.
It really,
Stop at any
it
gas
won't let you
station.
down. Florida has yet to let me down when I come up with these stories.
You can stop at any gas station on your way to the tourist traps, the big ones, Universal, Disney.
Disney.
When you go to the 7-Eleven, you're going to find a couple of them just staring at the sun sitting in front of the 7-Eleven, slurping and slurping. And that's how they get their calories. That's how they live.
So this Florida man, we're going to start out with this
What was
guy.
his first name? Do you know?
Jake.
Jake.
Jake Florida. His last name was Florida. So, a Florida man breaks into a house and steals tools, clothes, jewelry, ice cream, but he falls asleep in the garage before escaping.
You shouldn't have eaten that ice cream first.
The homeowner called 911 after discovering a man sleeping next to a pile of tools inside the garage. The suspicious man was awoken by homeowners fleeing the scene. Detectives were nearby investigating a separate burglary where the suspect had entered the residence and helped himself to some ice cream, some tools, clothing, and jewelry while the homeowners were asleep.
That almost sounds like Goldilocks and the Three Little Bears, doesn't it? He went in.
Dude stole my ice cream!
Instead of porridge, it was ice cream. And then he fell asleep in the garage.
Like legit.
Whoa. What?
You have to be a really, really bad criminal to pass out asleep.
Didn't we see this guy at the Circle K across from Daytona Motor Speedway this year? I think so.
He was the one.
Or was that his wife?
I think that was a woman because she had 3 kids with her, and they all had different shopping carts. That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there was no man there. She could have been a man.
You think she's taught them how to do meth properly?
Not yet.
No.
They're still learning. They'll get there.
At what age? It's a legal drug to begin with. What age do you think's appropriate to be doing meth?
I don't think there is an appropriate
In
age.
Florida, there is no age limit, is there?
No, definitely not. So, police noticed a suspicious person removing tools from a trailer a few houses away. So, this is away from the separate house they're investigating that they get called on. So, he's already been caught asleep in the garage. Police are at the neighbor's house. And now police notice a strange man digging through a trailer a few houses away. When they approached, the man fled on foot. After a brief foot chase, the detectives apprehended the man who appeared to be high on meth.
Can you tell, like, the high?
I think in Florida.
Somebody?
In Florida, you can.
Oh, they got like a breathalyzer that tells you the
I think it's the eyes.
opiate. Is meth an opioid since it's made with batteries and acid?
That's
and
Optima.
baking soda.
You're thinking of Optima batteries.
And coughing syrup.
I think it's made with rat poisoning, Drano, and cough drops or something. Some kind of cough medicine that you used to buy over the counter that had that acetaminophen in it. That's something.
Well, they still ask your date of birth when you get it.
You can't get Zyrtec D without your date of birth. You know,
do you think there's YouTube videos on how to cook meth?
Oh, I'm sure.
You don't think YouTube's pulled it down?
In New Mexico.
It's probably a Facebook short because that dude believes in nothing but himself. Lizard Man.
Lizard Man.
You know Lizard Man.
Loser Man. Facebook
He
guy?
owns Facebook guy.
Who owns Facebook?
The Lizard Guy.
That's Marky Mark and the Zuckerberg band?
Zuckerbutt.
Yeah, that guy.
That's probably the name of a drug.
All right, let's go to Chicago.
Oh, geez. That place is a wreck, too.
Well, I was trying to find stories that were not about murdering people.
So you end up with nothing but drugs?
Well, that's how, yeah, exactly. You either have murderers or drug. I mean, you get one or the other. Sometimes you find both. So Chicago police have arrested a man who attacked a bus driver and a passenger with a frozen chicken. Witnesses say the man wasn't happy when a woman didn't respond the way he wanted her to when he tried to flirt with her, so he started hitting her with the frozen chicken.
Wow, that's awesome.
When the bus driver stopped the bus to help the woman, the man hit him in the face with the frozen chicken as well. The bus driver suffered a broken nose, a broken jaw, and he lost a tooth. The woman, who did not want to be named, was not seriously injured, suffering only minor bruising. Apparently, this same man spent 2 years in prison in 2014 for trying to blow up a transit bus.
Brad, don't you think that if you're riding a bus, probably means you don't have a car or it's broken down, right?
Yeah.
Why would you hit on women in the bus in the same situation as you? Wouldn't it be better to go to the Wendy's drive-thru and pick up women who are driving a car through the drive-thru window?
Just stand there with a hat?
Yeah.
Instead of asking for money, hand out your name and number.
Walk up to them while they're getting the order. Hey, babe.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
Did you get a large fry?
I like large fries.
I like those fries from Wendy's, baby.
You want to see me shake? I don't know, man. Like, this dude's on a bus. He obviously has a bad history.
He's got a problem with buses.
But he hits on a woman, and she didn't apparently like him. She wasn't interested, said no thank you, so he pops her upside the head with a frozen chicken.
So the lady's got no car, and now he has no chicken.
Or car.
He ruined the meal.
And
like I said, needs to go to a drive-thru window and pick up women.
Needs to go to an insane asylum, apparently.
Well, according to some videos I saw when I was a kid, the after-school special,
yeah,
whatever drugs were on that show, I can't remember who was on it. Helen Hunt was on it. Will make you insane.
Is that like the drug? It's like it shows the egg in the frying pan. It's like, this is your brain on drugs, and he starts beating the egg with the frying pan.
Yeah, kind of like that.
And then it's like, don't smoke pot.
You know, Tom Hanks was on a after school special, and he went insane from playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Was After School Special the name of the show?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I'm thinking.
Oh, we're talking like
I'm waiting
late
on you.
70s.
I'm waiting on you to tell me
you
the name of the show.
You
here.
weren't
like,
born
After
yet.
School Special was.
You weren't born yet.
I thought it was like the show had a special.
It was called it was like life lessons for children of the 80s. So don't do drugs. Don't play Dungeons and Dragons. We thought it's funny because we
play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Helen Hunt taught you not to do drugs, huh?
Well, she at the end freaked out on PCP, ran in her hospital like the 10th floor, jumped through the window at the end of the hall, and died hitting the ground.
In real life?
No, it was just on the show.
Oh.
I'm sure she had a character's name.
So it was like Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, for kids after school.
So
because we were laughing.
You just get out of school, come home.
We're like 9 years old on, I think it was on Wednesdays.
Come home from school,
watch Helen Hunt,
smoke a joint, watch the After School Special,
and go, wow, our stuff didn't make us jump out the window.
None of us are hospital. Dude.
Whoa, Helen.
What is she smoking, man?
She's a hot 13-year-old, man.
PCP.
She's an older woman. I can't wait to meet Helen when I'm 18 and she's 21.
So that was the 70s when I came home from school and watched Friday on TV. It's a great movie.
Really?
Really is a great movie. It is one of my favorite movies of all time, to be honest with you. You ever seen it?
Did you watch Next Friday?
I liked Friday.
The Friday after?
They were all funny.
I've seen them, yeah.
They were all funny, but Friday's the only one I have on Blu-ray. Like, it's the only one I'm willing to watch.
Can you still play it?
Blu-ray players, they still have those.
Do you have it? A Blu-ray player?
Yes.
Oh.
DVDs are the ones that came first. They're out of style now.
Blu-rays are still a thing?
Well, what's replaced them? Digital? I'm not changing all my digital.
I don't know. It's the cloud, man. I record on Google TV. What is that?
Dude, YouTube TV did not have the Georgia Bulldog game on this weekend. So I went up to Moon-Eyed Mountain.
Was there no local channel covering it? Was it on the SEC channel?
It was on ESPN, and they wanted you to buy the ESPN Plus package to watch Georgia play this week.
It wasn't on the main ESPN?
No, it had Texas A&M on there. Like, who cares? We need number one ranked Georgia.
It's first week of college football. Weren't they playing some scrubs?
Yeah, nobody played. They really, in my opinion, I didn't watch a whole lot of football. Like I said, me, my wife, my daughters, we went up to Fort Mountain, North Georgia. That's Moon-Eyed Mountain from the
Moon-Eyed People.
Moon-Eyed People. The review we read from Bristol.
I think we read it multiple times.
I think 2 or 3 times now.
And we're going to be in Bristol, so we'll have a real review of our hotel.
We'll go to that hotel and see if Moon-Eye's there.
And we'll post it.
I got $5 in quarters. That way, if he jumps out of the hole in the floor.
What if he wants dollars this time?
I'll be like, dude.
What if they turn the vending machine?
Beggars can't be choosers, man.
Ugh.
All right. An Indiana man dressed as Pikachu is arrested after he runs from police on his lawnmower.
Ooh, Pikachu.
This is 2 weeks in a row Pokemon's made the show.
Yeah, Pokemon's pretty popular.
With the meth addicts, apparently. Actually.
Don't you play Pokemon with your phone?
I don't know.
No? No.
You?
Used to.
Pokemon Powerball? Isn't that a lottery game?
I don't know. I only play the lottery when it's over $500 million.
So, police were called after a man dressed as Pikachu was spotted driving a lawnmower recklessly through.
So, I wonder if his blade was going, if he engaged the blades.
He was driving recklessly through small-town Indiana streets. I don't know. So, apparently this was a modified lawnmower. This was
one of those racing ones?
Yeah.
Oh.
It gets better. So, the deputy attempted to pull the lawnmower over. The man dressed as Pikachu responded with a shock by flipping off the deputy as he sped away the best he could.
You know, there's a championship lawnmower thing in Florida. Maybe we should go to that. Lawnmower Racing Association.
Go to that and then go to Seattle.
It's the cheapest way for us.
That way we can go from corner to corner.
Yeah.
Why not? We do stupid things.
Make a big giant X in what? Nebraska?
Yeah.
Kansas?
The deputy broke off the chase due to the driver of the lawnmower becoming more erratic and dangerous. At one point, he attempted to hit the officer.
Oh, my.
Police knew who the man was because they knew who owned the lawnmower. When they confronted him later at his home, he was still wearing half the Pikachu outfit, by the way.
So this is...
He attacked the police officers, and after a brief struggle, he was taken into custody. Now, this was stated very clearly in the article. Alcohol or drugs are not believed to have been a contributing factor.
So this guy's just batshit crazy?
He is 100% sober, dressed up as Pikachu, runs from the cops, flips him off, tries to hit him, goes home. When the cops get there, he denies it. They know it's him.
It wasn't me.
He's still got half a Pikachu costume on.
See,
from the neck down, he's Pikachu. From the neck up, he's Indiana Man.
You see him? Officer, were they wearing the full outfit or just half? Because I'm only wearing the bottom half.
See, officer,
I don't think it was me.
What had happened was somebody stole the top half of my Pikachu outfit.
That's who it was.
And stole my lawnmower.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
I've been at home doing meth all day.
Yeah, which isn't a drug in Indiana. You know,
or alcohol.
We were in rural Indiana. We picked up gas on our championship cannonball run.
I do remember.
That was pretty redneck, dude. We were like an hour and a half southwest.
That was before Uranus.
Yeah, it was before my anus. Just left at the balls.
I was watching some of the shorts we made while on the cannonball run the other day, and I was dying.
Oh, dude. Some of them we didn't publish. We were pretty messed up.
30 hours in, you could just like, whoa, hey guys, we're in New Mexico, I think.
Or maybe Arizona. Oh.
I just watched the sunset again.
You know what? We started in snow, and we ended in snow until we came down the mountains into L.A.
Now, the scaredest I was Flagstaff. When you're like, can you make it to California? I'm like, dude, I'm seeing bats. Can you make it to California? I'm like, yeah, sure. I looked to my right, like 6 inches off the road is a snow embankment, 4 foot tall. I looked to my left, another 4 foot tall snow embankment. I'm like,
and then a bat jumped out of the road.
I'm like, screw it, man. I got this. Worst case scenario, we lose a mirror. We didn't hit anything. We jumped the curb.
Oh, yeah, we did jump the curb.
That was in New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Cleaned the ice off the Prius, and we added 20 more miles a gallon to the fuel economy. So that was probably the best thing we did, was jumping the Prius off the curb. So I'm taking it you've never seen Pikachu on a lawnmower?
No, never have. I've experienced a lot in my years, but never a Pikachu driving a lawnmower, a racing lawnmower.
It flips you off.
Yeah.
So next place we're going is Iowa. An Iowa man is arrested after police say he was driving a fuel tanker truck naked while speeding and crashing into a home. Police were called when a man was seen running around a parking lot of a truck stop naked and screaming. When the police arrived, they were notified that the man had driven off in a diesel tanker truck that he did not have permission to drive off in. The officers spotted him driving, and they noted that he was not wearing any clothes, and he was pumping his fist into the air as he drove past. The driver was speeding and struck 4 different vehicles before crashing into a home where no one was hurt, thankfully. Residents for the 2 blocks were evacuated because of the diesel fuel spill that happened after he crashed into the home. Now, they did say this man was also on drugs. Which, that's usually, I mean, when you see a man running around a parking lot. So we stopped at Plenty of Loves on our cannonball run, and a few other off-name, not so great.
PJs.
Yeah. It's a PJs. Yeah, that was the one that had like the waterfall.
Yeah.
That was really, really nice. If you ever go to a PJs, that's P as in Paul, J as in Jamie.
Oh, you sound like you've had some meth. I think most people can spell PJ.
Well, I was actually referring more to my southern accent.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want anybody thinking I was saying something else.
Well, you know, I do talk to text all the time. Siri can't understand wherever my accent's from.
You have a southern accent, sir, and you just don't want to admit it.
I had a similar situation.
Where you were naked, pumping your fist while driving a tanker truck?
I wasn't driving a tanker truck. See, and I wasn't the originator of this idea. And I'm going to shout out to a high school friend of mine. college friend of mine, Troy Funk. We copied Troy Funk. Troy, at the beginning of the summer, drove to Ocean City, Maryland. He drove back naked in his car.
Is there a reason he was naked? Or he just wanted to be?
You have to pay a toll to go over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. You don't pay it going back.
So it's free.
So we thought it was hilarious. So later that summer, another friend of mine and I were in my Volkswagen GTI, and we were leaving Ocean City. I said, "Hey,
get naked.
Let's do like Troy did. Let's see what happens." Well, unfortunately for us, we left during prime traffic time, and there was a massive 6-mile backup from the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. And a Volkswagen GTI is low to the ground. Anyone in a minivan or a truck, and they would say stuff, "You're naked in your car," and we'd just go, "Duh."
So thank God you didn't ask to do this on the Cannonball run.
That'd be a long, I don't know. We had to put gas in the car every 300 miles.
I'm just not.
Dude, it was cold too. I don't know how to do it.
I'm not riding around naked in the car with you for 6 hours. You and your buddy rode around naked together.
We thought we were going to get some girls.
And all you got was each other.
We got a lot of middle-aged women going, "You're naked," hanging out of their Dodge Caravan. "Hey, look, honey, them boys are naked in that red GTI."
He's got his hoochie mama shorts on. Being catcalled. All right, next place we're going is Arizona. A man in Arizona is arrested after police find a medieval-style club, a hatchet, a sword, and meth in the man's car.
What was this guy planning?
Police are called to a residential neighborhood in Arizona after a suspicious car is spotted parked outside for several hours. When the police arrived and confronted the man, he appeared to be high on meth, and the man admitted to having a felony warrant out on his arrest. Oh my God. This dude is high. And the police are like, "Hey man, what are you doing here?" He's like, "I have a felony warrant out for my arrest." He just
okay.
They said he just blurted it out.
So, maybe you shouldn't do meth.
So after admitting to having a felony warrant out on his arrest, the police decided to search the man's vehicle. During the search of the man's vehicles, officers reported finding 2 medieval clubs and a hatchet next to the front passenger seat of the car and a sword in the back seat. The officers also found a gram of meth and a smoking pipe in the cup holder in plain sight. He was arrested for possession of deadly weapons, possession of a controlled substance, and on his outstanding felony warrant that he told them immediately.
A gram of meth doesn't sound like that much.
I mean,
I don't know what a gram of meth looks like. Maybe it's very light.
It looks like a gram of
Oh, you seen it?
No.
Oh. I've seen it on TV.
I'm trying to think of something that. What else do you buy in grams?
You think in movies they're using real meth so the actors know the actual?
I think they make the actors get jacked up on meth. Like, now they know how to get into character.
I read this book once on Elvis.
Yeah.
It was methamphetamines that he got hooked on in Germany while he was in the army.
Wasn't it like Adderall or something?
So they hooked them up. That's how they would get them all jacked up to fight the Russians.
Oh yeah, on drugs.
Oh, I think I saw a Russian.
I think I can. So have you ever driven around, Jamie, with
Never with meth.
With meth?
I've never done meth, actually.
You notice in Arizona,
we saw a lot of.
Last week we had a dude who bought an owl at a gas station in Arizona.
We saw a lot of things that look like they could be cook RVs out in the middle of the desert in Arizona and New Mexico.
I don't think there was any doubt as to what you literally had an
RV
could
see for 12 miles, You
had an RV that looked like it had been burned up, caught on fire, and then 20 yards away you had another RV sitting there, the smoke billowing out.
Well, I don't think the TV show was made up. It was
no.
based on real
Breaking Bad is
things.
Definitely Southwest United States.
Yeah, it's their own little weird place.
Beautiful countryside.
It is, but watch out for the meth.
Lots of meth.
Yeah.
Lots of meth. And watch out in Arizona. I mean, you never know when some guy's going to get mad and road rage you during traffic and jump out with 2 medieval clubs He might have a hatchet and a sword in his car also. So
remember that guy that wanted to sell me
Tide Pods. Yes, that was New Mexico.
Do you think maybe that was meth in there? I mean, that was weird.
No, he wasn't
that
selling
wasn't code.
He wasn't selling you Tide Pods. Dude had a container of Tide laundry detergent and wanted to sell you a cup full. You want to buy a cup of Tide?
But that made no sense to me. I could not compute it. I was like, I wonder
where was he going to put it in your hand?
I was like, is that code for drugs?
Oh, what do you want to do with the Tide, man? I mean, he was definitely homeless and hadn't bathed or showered or washed his clothes in God knows how long.
That's when we switched drivers and you drove off the curb.
Got better gas mileage thanks to Tide Man.
Knocked the ice off.
Maybe it was the Tide that he threw on the ground that we ran over that loosened the ice up so it fell off when I jumped the 5-foot curb.
Well, I did notice pumping the gas that there was ice on our rear diffuser.
All I'll say is the shocks on that thing were pretty good because this little curb I jumped was more like an embankment.
Yeah.
I mean,
a half pipe at a skateboard park.
I got all 4 tires were definitely in the air at one point.
Yeah, we were.
You couldn't see, man. You could not see. Like, you could not tell the difference where the road was and where the road was.
Dude, I don't know how you couldn't see. The hood of the Prius is no wider than this desk.
The hood of the Prius was the same color as the road.
Well, it was sundown.
It was sundown. Everything in New Mexico is like a light brown color. There's snow and ice on the road and salt everywhere.
And Tide.
It looks... and some dude splashing Tide around like it's some kind
of Tide Pod?
He's like a witch doctor sprinkling Tide on everybody. You get some Tide. You get some Tide. Everybody gets some Tide.
$1 a Tide Pod. Maybe you're challenging us to do the Tide Pod challenge. It was big.
But they weren't Tide Pods. He just had a little container, like a fifth of Tide.
A fifth of Tide. I think he was drinking it to stay warm.
That's probably it. All right, we're leaving Arizona. We're going to cross over into California. A man in California is arrested after posting a photo on Instagram of him doing donuts in the middle of a busy intersection with his girlfriend hanging out the window with an AK-47.
That's really awesome, dude. Oh, is there a video of this?
He was caught after the photo went viral.
It was just a photo?
Yeah, it was just a photo. Well, no, there's video of it, too. Like, other people were posting.
Look at that dude doing a donut with a lady with an AK-47.
So he posted on his social media a photo of it. Other people are posting video of this incident with him doing donuts and this crazy lady holding an AK-47. They're posting videos of it, tagging him and her in the video. Then the man posted a photo on his Instagram account of him wearing a t-shirt with the viral photo screen printed on it. So the cops ended up raiding this dude's home.
What a dude.
He was charged with being a felon and in possession of 3 guns and ammunition, including 2 unserialized pistols and a full auto modified rifle. Police also found bomb-making materials and meth in his home.
Meth seems to be a common theme here for stupid people.
It definitely helps. Like, if you want to go to that next level of stupid,
do meth.
Meth is where you go. You ever seen that movie with Ice Cube in it? Fist Fight, where he's going to fight that teacher
at the end of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one crazy lady, she's on there. She's talking about doing meth. He's like, don't ever do meth again. She's like, oh, yeah. Because why? Because it's a gateway drug. He's like, no, it's the finish line. Yeah, definitely. That's the common theme we have here is meth, obviously.
Don't do meth.
And if you're a felon and you're not supposed to be in possession of guns and you have a full auto rifle at home and bomb-making materials.
You got a problem if there's photos and videos of you.
You probably don't want to do donuts in the middle of a busy intersection and have your girlfriend hanging out the window holding an AK-47 and then post it on your social media.
So I got a theory on this.
He was an idiot.
He got her to do meth. Women are way more mature than men.
So she wouldn't have done this unless she was doing meth.
And he got her hooked.
It was the meth.
And then he started coming up with these whacked out ideas. Hey, let's get in the Trans Am, do a donut at the 4-way stop, and you hang out with the AK-47 shooting to the sky. And, a year ago, she would have said, no, we'll end up in jail. Now that she's on meth, she's like, yeah.
All right.
And I'll do a selfie too.
And then we'll all go to jail.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there was meth involved in this next one. So we're going to head over from California. We're going to jump right back across to Pennsylvania.
I was there last Saturday.
Pennsylvania?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. You went up there with your buddy. Drop him off for grad school.
Yep.
Poor guy.
Well, I think he was glad to get rid of me after.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he flew.
Yeah, he's probably still glad.
I was just a driver.
He's probably still glad to get rid of you.
It was like Cannonball Run miniature. I drove straight through.
I offered to ride with Jamie.
No bathroom breaks unless it coincided with filling the gas tank in my wife's SUV.
I offered to ride with him on this. And
no food.
Wouldn't take me up on the offer.
Unless it was gas station food. Well, his apartment's in the
studio,
so there was no room on the floor for you.
I know. I understood why. I'm just saying. I'm just letting everybody know. You didn't have to make that ride alone. I was willing. And then Jamie gets there and he's like, "Can y'all let me in?"
Yeah. 2:46 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know the worst thing was? There's no street parking unless you have a permit.
You didn't have a permit?
Well, I'm not a resident.
You have an apartment there.
No, street parking. Just parking on the street.
Oh.
You got to have a permit. Well, within a quarter mile away is a parking garage. It's 24 hours. So I'm like, sweet, I can drive there. It's actually in sight of my oldest son's apartment. Well, I didn't think about this, but at no time actually. Can you actually go in a direct line to his apartment? So I had to go a half mile left or a half mile right to cross a bridge over the train station, and then a half mile back to get to his apartment.
Walking
at 2:40. But you know what?
Quincy the homeless out?
I saw nothing but police.
And that's why he is.
Well, they were a little concerned about me because my wife said, "Bring a blanket." So I had a blanket in the car. So I'm walking at almost 3 a.m. with a blanket and in my backpack.
Sir.
So I saw John Adams and John Quincy Adams' grave.
Yeah.
Because I could see my son's apartment building, and it's through one of the oldest churches in Massachusetts. Graveyard.
You should have laid down between them.
I got there, and there's a fence preventing me from crossing the railroad tracks.
Yes.
So then I had to double back out of the cemetery.
Safe.
You know, cemetery is pretty creepy at 2:46 in the morning, especially when they're like the 1600, 1700 markers. They're like freaking Halloween.
You hear a noise, you take off running.
And as I exit the cemetery, that's when the cops say, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to get to my son."
Trying to sleep.
I said, "I'm trying to get to my son's apartment." And they're like, "Where is it?" I'm like, "It's right there." And they're like, "Oh, you're either going to have to go south half a mile or north half a mile, cross the bridge.
If you arrest
and then walk back.
If you arrest me, can you take me there quicker?"
What sucked is during the day, we're going out to buy,
blankets,
cooking utensils, pots, pans for my son's kitchen.
He cooks?
Well, I guess so, or I wasted money. But I would drive the car there, park it, walk all the way back, and then my wife or someone would go, "Hey, we got to run to Target." So then I had to turn around.
Go get the car.
I got my steps in.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Yeah. All right, so
where are we going next, Brad?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, that's where we started at. Any meth there?
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
There's definitely meth involved here. So 3 men in Pennsylvania have been arrested after they broke into a state police impound lot to recover the drugs they left in their car after being busted for transporting drugs.
I think they put that in an evidence locker in the building. But, being on drugs, you probably don't make good decisions.
So I think it's the meth that makes these people stupid.
I think so, too.
So these guys get arrested for drugs. So troopers say during the traffic stop, a police canine dog detected marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine in the truck. The men were arrested and the truck was taken to the police impound lot. 4 days later, police were notified of the break-in at the impound lot. They noticed a hole had been cut into the fence and surveillance showed a person getting into the bed of the truck and accessing the cab through the rear sliding window. The police had already searched and confiscated all of the drugs out of the vehicle before these 3 guys broke back into the impound lot. When confronted with video evidence of the break-in, the three admitted to the crime and were taken back into custody by the police. These dudes were arrested for possession of marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and meth. In their truck. They're getting charged with transportation of these drugs. Go to jail. They impound the truck. They get out of jail. They break into the impound lot to steal the drugs that they were arrested for having in the first place.
Why wouldn't you wear a disguise? I mean, because you're on meth. Never mind. Answer my own question.
Yeah. Like, disguise just didn't seem like something they needed because...
Yeah, officer, that was us. You're right. That's me right there. There's Bobby.
See, Terry was the one who cut the fence, officer.
There's Terry. They got all of us. You got all of us on that video, officer.
See, what had happened was, officer, we had been out of jail for 4 days.
And we were stone sober.
We had paid for those drugs already, so we went back to get them.
We started huffing roach spray. And it just isn't as good as meth, and we made bad decisions.
I drank a fifth of Roundup, and it didn't help.
I got cancer in my stool.
I got stool cancer now, but I'm not even high. All right, so we started in Florida. We're going to end in Florida. I could have done the whole episode on Florida, honestly. Like, I have so many Florida ones for future shows now. It's just unbelievable.
Maybe we should write down our experiences with meth heads in Florida.
I mean, we should just start posting them on Reddit, and then they end up on the show. I had one for Georgia this week, but I wanted to leave murder out, so the girl who stabbed her friend over the sauce at the Popeyes chicken.
Yeah.
I figured she killed her, so we're leaving murder out this week.
That makes sense.
Georgia didn't make the cut this week again. So let's go back to Florida. A Florida man is arrested after a rafting. A Florida man is arrested after a routine traffic stop leads deputies to search his cookie jar.
His cookie jar, yeah. Everybody drives with a cookie jar.
And running a stop sign turns into a major drug bust. Deputies pull over a man for running a stop sign. When they approach, they notice the smell of cannabis. The suspect quickly admitted to smoking pot and agreed to let the officer search his car. In the back seat of the car, deputies discovered a tray with a snap-on cover, and inside was a bag of cocaine. Also found in the driver's seat pocket was a container that said cookies, but inside of the cookie jar was a bag of white powdery substance that tested positive for fentanyl, and a lot of it. The DEA say 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be deadly. Deputies recovered nearly 10 grams of fentanyl from the cookie jar.
So I got a question. When was fentanyl invented? You've only heard it the last few years.
It became big. So I listened. I think we were talking about the podcast on the show. The search engine one or whatever. Dale Jr. promoted one time on 30 Minutes. So I listened to the fentanyl episode, and he interviews drug dealers of fentanyl and drug users of fentanyl. And it back in like 2017, the DEA said fentanyl was not a drug they were worried about because it was too potent. It would kill you. So the DEA, it wasn't even on their radar of worrying about in 17. Fast forward to 2023. If a drug user goes out and buys fentanyl from a drug dealer and the drug user dies, that drug dealer's business increases because other users want that fentanyl that killed their friend because they know it's some powerful fentanyl. Isn't it just the craziest thing?
So you just twist your mind on that crap.
You're chasing death.
Wow.
You're trying to get as close to death without dying.
You know Dwayne? He took that stuff and he died dead. He died dead.
It's some killer fentanyl, man.
Damn. That's some good stuff, man.
He killed Dwayne.
Who sells that stuff?
Who sells the stuff that killed Dwayne, man?
Billy at church. He's selling the fentanyl?
I mean, it's stupid, man. I don't get it. But yeah, like, and now it's so cheap to make, apparently. The Chinese are making it in Mexico and smuggling it over the border. I don't even think they're smuggling it. They probably walk it over in a backpack now. Like, we got some fentanyl. Hello, officer. I don't even think they have to try that hard, dude.
No, I don't think so.
I think they just hop, skip, and jump across. Did you see in Mexico, they placed a piece of the Berlin Wall right in front of our wall, and it said, build bridges, not walls?
Well, we do have some. I've been on a bridge into Mexico.
Well, they're saying take the wall down. And they would make it easier to get fentanyl in, apparently.
Well, do you ever vacation in Mexico?
I've been to Cayman Islands, which is not Mexico.
Cayman
Cancun.
Islands. Cancun is Mexico, and the Cayman Islands are
Cozumel.
between Cuba and Cozumel.
Is Cozumel Mexico?
Cozumel's a little island off the Cancun Peninsula.
Is it Mexico?
Yep.
Oh, so I've been to Mexico twice then.
Okay.
At least those two Mexicos.
So, why
You been to a different Mexico?
Yeah, but did you have to go through a mall?
Have you ever been to Tijuana?
No.
I want to go to Tijuana. I used to always want to go to Tijuana because that's...
I have a friend that takes it. He's from L.A.
And he takes what?
He takes his cars to get reupholstered in Tijuana.
It's probably cheaper.
Oh, that's what he says. And he says the quality of work's way better because we don't really do upholstery in America anymore.
We don't?
I don't know. I haven't looked for an upholsterer.
No, you just buy a new car at that point. Or put a seat cover on it.
Well, I did use an upholsterer on my wife's Miata years ago.
You know what I've noticed is, this Florida man was arrested on a routine traffic stop. And all he did, he ran through a stop sign. And if I had a major amount of drugs in my car, maybe not run the stop sign.
But you see, that's the trick. If you're selling drugs, you probably should not use your product.
Yeah, I mean, he was smoking pot.
I mean, have you watched The Wire? The drug dealers that did not use their drugs were the ones that were the most successful.
I mean, this is like the guy earlier who blurted out, "I got a felony warrant." they walk officers there you go. This guy runs a stop sign. They pull him over. They walk up.
Roll your window down, sir. I got a warrant, dude. Holy crap!
They roll his window down. He's sitting there holding a joint in his hand. They're like, "Sir, we smell cannabis." He's like, "Yeah, man. I've been smoking weed.
Oh, yeah, man.
Definitely in this car right now,
dude.
And they're like, "Can we search your car?" He's like, "Yeah, man. Come on. Can I stay in it? Or do I got to get out, dude?" So they search the car. In the back seat, he's got a Snap-on tray, which at first when I heard this, I'm thinking he made some marijuana edibles. But no, they open it up, and then instead of marijuana cookies, he's got cocaine. Then they noticed his cookie jar, which I'm thinking again,
that's not odd.
He's got marijuana edibles.
If you're a cop, you're not going to open that.
Well, that's what he's thinking. They're not going to look in the cookie jar.
It's just cookies, dude. Choc chip.
It's just cookies.
Got the munchies from my weed, dude.
So I'm smoking weed right now, and I'm going to be hungry later, so I got my cookies.
I've got a medical card.
Then they open the cookie jar, and it's fentanyl. So I'm just going to go out on a limb. If I'm driving around with 10 grams of fentanyl and some cocaine, maybe not smoke a joint while you're doing it.
Officer, dude, be careful, man. That's the good stuff. They'll kill you.
That's the fentanyl.
Yeah, we're people all over the street after that stuff, dude.
I don't need everybody knowing I've got that killer stuff, man.
Killer stuff, man.
Dude, do I got to get out of the car again?
Primo, man.
Don't take my weed, man.
This is more valuable.
Where he kept the pot at?
This is more valuable.
They didn't even tell us where he kept his pot at. If he kept the cocaine, he kept the cocaine in a covered dish, the fentanyl in a cookie jar.
This is a good fentanyl, man. It's more valuable than toilet paper during a COVID situation.
He probably kept his his marijuana in a little stash bag that said cocaine.
Yeah.
They'll never find my pot.
Yeah, I hid that stuff, man.
All right, so we didn't record last week, so we're going to jump into some NASCAR racing stuff. Last week,
Brad in Florida kind of looked like he was on some fentanyl.
I'm thinking he had a Florida native flashback. So last week, Brad Keselowski notices his car catching on fire during a red flag, decides to do some loop-de-loops in the infield to put the fire out. Apparently, it was enough to piss off Denny Hamlin and the DBC crew. They had problems with it, saying you can't move an inch under a red flag. Dale Jr. says it's a non-issue. He says they used to move all the time, keep your brakes from getting hot, so they would move their car up so the pads didn't sit in one spot. Me personally, I have no issue whatsoever with it. I could care less either
Well, he
way.
didn't
It did
pass
not.
another competitor.
It did not matter what. All it did was prevent. Look, we've seen these cars spontaneously combust.
Yeah.
So I would much rather have Brad do 3 loop-de-loops in the infield and put out a fire versus spontaneously combusting on TV. Should he have went to the back? I don't know. Frankly, I don't really care. Like, it is literally that much of a non-issue to me. But it was a big talking point last week, so.
Well, and Denny thinks, I mean, I like his show. I like Denny. We're friends now.
Yeah, he was just.
Because he told me I got a new friend.
Yeah,
I met him. But sometimes he's just a little too rigid, old Denny.
Well, I mean, Denny was just mad because Busher won and Brad pushed him to that win. Yeah, that's all. Ryan Priest looks like he went 4 rounds with Mike Tyson, both eyes black and his face swollen. I've never seen somebody flip like he flipped last weekend.
Dude, I thought he was dead.
I looked over at my wife before the replay and I was like, he just died. He died. He did. Like,
that's what I told my wife. I said, he's dead. And she said, no, that's a recording. Well, he's still dead.
Oh, yeah. Jamie watched it a day late because he was in Boston.
No one told me anything about it.
Well, duh. I couldn't. I was trying to keep it all secret so you could go back and watch it. But, yeah, if he would have died, I think I would have probably texted you like, dude, did you see Ryan Priest died? So, Ryan Priest did not die. So,
nope, he's alive.
The dude finished like 3 or 4 laps down yesterday. He was a non-factor. There's no way
he probably had to get a new helmet for that head of his.
There's no way he's 100%. There's no way.
There's no way.
I mean, maybe 90%, but he's not 100. The dude, his whole head is swollen right now. He looks
like a chihuahua. They had to tape his eyes back in his head.
He looked like the dude from the Goonies.
He did.
Hey, you guys.
Oh, you guys.
So Kyle Larson wins the Southern 500. Dude, that was I thought it was a great race. Like, stage 1, not so great. Stage 2, the intensity started to pick up. Stage 3 was
still
great.
Crap.
Watching
Stage 3 was the best.
There was an in-car shot they showed for about 10 laps, maybe. It was Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson after the last restart, and you can see Reddick sometimes he would get closer, sometimes he wouldn't. But watching those two guys run the high side like they did,
jeez, man,
I was like tensing up every lap.
No, that was some real drama there.
It was awesome. I thought it was great to see them run that close to the wall.
That was some Baywatch drama.
They kept bouncing off the wall. I mean,
there was some bouncing in Baywatch too.
Yeah, but not on a wall.
Well, I don't know. It's been 30 years since I've seen Baywatch, but
I watched Baywatch. Hey, there's a beam up here on the ceiling. You can't see it from here.
Does it say Baywatch?
No, it's got flipping Tennessee Vols tees are spray painted up there. I've lived in this house for 3 years. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan.
Someone broke in here and painted that.
Well, I think it was a previous owner.
Was it our friend Matt that came in here?
I sent a picture to Matt yesterday. He ain't responded. Matt, if you're listening,
hey Matt,
check your text. I sent you a picture. And it's kind of faint to see. You might have to look real close. I'll show you before we leave.
I got a question for you.
What?
What the heck's going on with Denny Hamlin's negotiation? Do you think it's a repeat of Bush? It's starting to get that Bush taste.
Well, they said it
was. That's not wrong. Okay.
Yeah. No, I think his contract's done with Joe Gibbs. He said it's something with 2311.
I don't know, man.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It's getting weird.
I mean, I think Joe Gibbs could screw anything up, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him screw this up too.
Well, he is
too much focus on La Tata.
Maybe he's on Alzheimer's.
Well, I mean, maybe he could.
If you would have let little Ty stay in Xfinity, right?
Ty's got something wrong too because he thinks he's Jesus.
Well, he said he was.
Yeah,
or
compared himself to Jesus. He's just like Jesus.
Ty didn't make playoffs. Had no wins, right?
Correct.
Bush had 3?
Correct.
In the playoffs? Yes?
Yes.
Well, that's what Joe Gibbs is missing.
Winning?
Yeah, winning.
In that car, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to give that up for Denny too? I mean, next weekend we're going, look, Darlington's one of Denny's best tracks. Next week, we're going to arguably one of his better tracks.
I think JGR is in a world of hurt that we don't know about financially.
Well, he's selling stuff off.
Yeah.
So you might be
Is he
right.
going to unload 2 charters?
Maybe.
They say that Stuart Haas is.
I mean, he could afford probably easier to keep Bell and Gibbs than he could. But Truex is already re-signed.
Well, they're making minimum wage, I think.
Bell and Gibbs?
$7.50 an hour. Yeah.
Bell is, for sure.
Yeah.
He drove like it yesterday.
Bell looks about the same age as Gibbs, but he's not.
No, they're not.
He's married. I didn't think he was old enough to be married.
I didn't know he was married. Well, good for him.
I've
seen his girlfriend at the track, or wife, I guess.
I'm not sure. I just made it up.
Well, I mean, he's got a woman or a girl. I mean, he looks young.
Are you sure it's a woman?
No. Yes, I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
How do you know for sure?
Because of her name. And she's introduced.
I have a bisexual name. Bilingual? What's the word I'm looking for here? Multisexual? Binary. My name is binary. Is that the right term?
Non-binary.
Non-binary?
You have a bisexual haircut?
I have a non-binary.
You've seen it.
Oh, yeah, I gotta. Should I make the tips of my hair purple?
You have a lesbian haircut?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, my God. I don't know where we went with this. I mean, we're talking about Chris Bush.
We're trying to come up with a non-sexual, bisexual.
How we go from Chris Bush to lesbian haircuts?
I don't know.
You have a
because his girlfriend wife is she.
That's Christopher Bell.
That's his.
She's a woman.
His girlfriend's name is also Christopher Bell, or is it Christine Bell? Christina Bell.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
No, Chris Busher.
Chris is kind of a non-binary name too.
He's got the same haircut as you, so he has a lesbian haircut as well. Chris Busher has the haircut of a lesbian.
Well, this is. I had to do this to get rid of the bed bugs I got at the Wyndham. Oh, I could be sued for that. I did. I think I stayed at a Wyndham.
Did you get bed bugs?
No.
You don't shave your head for bed bugs.
In my opinion, I thought I had them. They ended up being red ants.
Dude, where did Chris Busher come from? Out of nowhere. This dude he's won 3 times now. He won at Richmond, Michigan, Daytona. It's 3 completely different styles of tracks. Well, in the last 6 races, he's got 3 wins. He finished 7th at Watkins Glen and 11th at Indy and now 3rd at Darlington.
You think Tony Stewart's clued in on this? If you spend money, you can win? Give up your drag racing?
I don't think it had. I don't know.
Have you noticed? Look, I like Chris Busher. I'm just drawing a line, right? SHR sucks. They drive Fords. Chris Busher and Brad, who's also co-owner, has proven that Fords don't have to lose.
No. And they're arguably the best Ford week in and week out.
And I don't know what the problem is here, but since Tony Stewart started dating his wife, who's now his wife.
They're married now.
Have you noticed there has been a decline of his SHR?
I mean, I can see your...
are they related? I don't know.
It. Well, they're related now that they're married.
They're not related because that would be incest.
Once you get married,
they have tied the knot of matrimony.
They say related through marriage.
Are you really related though? Like, I have an ex-uncle,
like your brother,
who told me he was my uncle, and I said, "No, you divorced my blood-related aunt."
But like you say, "Oh, that's my brother-in-law through marriage."
Well, do you have to say through marriage when you say brother-in-law?
Or like,
that's my brother-in-law through marriage.
Not brother-in-law, but like, yeah, we're like.
Do you have some people that you just call brother-in-law who aren't related at all?
What about your brother-in-law's wife's cousin? Like, yeah, we're related through marriage.
Well, that would be like a second or third cousin, but are you really related?
Through marriage.
You're related?
You've never heard that saying, through marriage?
Yeah, I have. It just never made sense to me because that would be incest. It makes sense here in Georgia because, especially where I'm from, where everybody has the same last name.
Well, in Mississippi, where
you live out,
tree don't fork.
You live out there where the Andersons live. Yeah, that's not a put down where I'm from, but if you're from like Boston and you say that, you're kind of saying we're inbred, right?
Pretty much.
You from them Andersons down in Georgia?
You think Denny Hamlin's going to win the championship?
No,
I mean,
I don't think so.
I look at it two ways. They choked yesterday and they crapped the bed.
Yep, peed on it first.
Maybe
then they crapped in it.
I mean,
he did not change the seat.
He won stage 1 and stage 2, and then he sucked after that. He had a mysterious vibration that the crew claims wasn't there. Then, to top things off, Kyle Busch does something dumb, wrecking the 38, trying to go 3 wide with his idiot teammate, wrecking the 38, collects Denny and Christopher Bell, who I picked in my fantasy picks, and McDowell in the crossfire. Like, Kyle did some dumb crap. Denny did some dumb crap. Denny's going to choke and not win the championship.
I think so.
Or he's getting it out of the way early.
I think he's going to choke on purpose. Joe Gibbs is not going to renew his contract, and he's going to drive for 23-11. Because here's why.
Denny's going to choke. Okay, yeah.
Here's why.
Yeah.
I read.
They were talking about Kyle Busch choking.
And it was on the internet, but it was like.
It's got to be true.
It seemed to be a legit.
If it's on the internet, it's true. They don't post.
Well, it seemed to be a legit news internet thing.
Yeah.
They were saying about the breakdowns between Jim France and the owners.
Mm-hmm.
Jim France doesn't want to make the charters permanent. And the owners say, you need to give us a value.
I mean, I agree both ways, but I think
why
the charter,
it cost them nothing to give a charter,
but the charter system is taken away from. I don't think you're filling the field because of the charter system.
You're not.
You're not. It's impossible to be an independent team anymore.
No, there isn't one. They show up to Daytona 500.
In that aspect, I don't like it, but
it does give a value to a team that is going to go bankrupt.
Correct.
Because it's so expensive to race, and it gives them an asset to sell to someone else.
But then you have teams like Rick Ware, who had look. I like Rocket Ryan, but Rocket Ryan is becoming Bottle Rocket Ryan in this 51 car. He needs to stop driving it. It's embarrassing. Okay, it's a bad look, Ryan. Just give it up, man. I don't know.
He did pretty good with SRX though.
The $8.50 that Rick Ware is paying you an hour to drive this car, it ain't worth it, man. Go drive SRX. Go do some sponsorship stuff. Go hang out on the farm. Have a petting zoo. Whatever you want to do. But to have the nickname, to have the nickname Rocket Ryan, and then to come back and drive the 51 of the Rick Ware car,
pedal car,
and now you're Bottle Rocket Ryan. It ain't working for
back
me.
Marker Ryan.
Well, I mean, a Bottle Rocket ain't gonna win a race.
Reverse Ryan is what I'm calling because he's going so slow. When he gets passed by the field, it looks like he's in reverse.
Well, yesterday he wrecked, but that wasn't his fault. So Kevin Harvick is in second place, 60 laps to go. He's going to do an early pit. The pit's closed, and he still went through it. That wasn't on his fault. So Kevin Harvick in second place, 60 laps to go. Rodney decides to short pit. That should have put him in the lead. Well, when he did this, Tyler Reddick's crew noticed and said, hey, you need to pit too. Except Tyler Reddick was in first place, way ahead of Kevin. Tyler Reddick slams on brakes. I guess he was going to do a U-turn maybe.
That's what it looked like.
But when he slammed
it was a good thing he didn't go down there.
He's well past pit wall.
But Harvick got a caution, and he was supposed to do a drive-through, and that ruined the race for Harvick.
But he stopped.
Why did he stop is my question. Oh!
Just keep driving. But Tyler Reddick
related to the California dude with the AK-47 and the Trans Am?
Probably.
And
I mean, Tyler Reddick caused this whole wreck. Ryan Newman wouldn't have spun out if Tyler Reddick wouldn't have brake checked him. But Tyler Reddick, go one more lap, dude. Like, you can't just stop on a... You can't...
Chill pill, man.
You cannot Quentin Huff it.
Not the meth.
And try to pit from the outside. It don't work. It never worked with Quentin. It ain't... Quinn, what's his name? Quentin or Quinn? Quinn Huff? Half? Hoof? Huffer? No. Hufferpuff. Huff and Puffer. He's a huff and puffer. All right, Bowman. He blocked sore ass. And dude, that was
an interesting accident.
That was a Joey Logano super speedway block at Darlington.
That was stupid.
It was highly stupid.
One, I give you.
Bowman had a sore ass right up his ass.
I don't know. Is it Bowman sucks?
I'm
You think
not.
he's gone?
He's got another year for sure.
They just pay him to leave. Hendricks has that kind of money, dude.
And put Hocevar in the car.
Yeah.
I mean, Hocevar is, in my opinion, running better.
Did better than old Ty.
Then they get out of the car, and Daniel in his limited English says a lot that I didn't understand, and then he calls Bowman dumb. Bowman, he's dumb. Dumb Bowman.
He got caca and Coca-Cola.
He dumb. And then Bowman gets out of the car and he goes, Daniel, he's dumb. Daniel's dumb. And I wrecked him because his crew chief flipped me the bird on the way to the airport. This sounds like a first grade fight. This is what I want to see. Daniel Suarez said, I'm going to call him dumb because anything else I say is inappropriate. Just say it in Spanish, dude. We can't understand your English.
Well, why did Bowman say, well, that's why I wrecked him? His crew chief gave me the bird.
He just said that.
Is he going to be suspended now?
Well, he didn't say that's why I wrecked him. He said Daniel does dumb things every time they race together. Plus, his crew chief flipped me the bird on the way to the airport. And it hurt Bowman. His wee little feelings got hurt. And he was sad. And Travis Mack really did hurt Bowman's feelings. He was crying.
Maybe he and Ty Dillon can form a team next year.
He got flipped off by T-Mac. And that hurt, it hurt him deep down in his soul. It hurt him. So he got on the track and he said, look,
Are these drivers paid so well? They have chauffeurs driving around?
Probably.
Concord?
Bowman's thinking I could let sore ass go by me or I could go left and block him. And then he thought about T-Mac giving him the finger and he went right.
Even though we're not really in the top 5, I'm going to block them.
Yeah, they're racing for like 30th or something, so I don't know. What I want to see, though, I want Daniel Suarez to go down to Hendrick Motorsports tomorrow in the parking lot and just stand there and wait on Bowman to come out and jump him.
What about Harrison Burton, dude? Do you think that guy will ever finish in the top 10 again?
That ain't his fault, though. That's Bowman's fault. That's Bowman just pulled a tiffy.
But have you noticed when you got bad luck, you keep having bad luck?
I think Bowman needs a new haircut. He needs a haircut like you. Maybe that'll help.
I'm going to grow it out.
Like Bowman?
Yeah, I've got it timed perfectly for winter.
So it look just like Bowman?
Yeah, I'll have it all by December.
You're going to have Corey LaJoy locks?
I'm going to get it permanent.
You should do a mullet.
I'm going to get it.
Let's do a mullet.
Get it permanent. I'm going to make it a fro.
You can perm the top. No, you can mullet on the top and perm the back.
Perm the mullet.
Perm the back of the mullet.
But Brad, I have to be a professional with these meetings I have during the week.
That's a Mississippi pisser whippoorwill.
Yeah, what's his face? Used to have Stainhouse.
Stainhouse?
Old Stainhouse.
Oh, Ricky Stankhouse. So a lot of playoff drivers had issues yesterday. Martin Truex had issues. He basically sucked all day.
I had an issue with Martin Truex because I picked him.
Yeah, but you still beat me by 30 points, so don't cry.
I don't know how it happened. Halfway through the race, I was like, I am so screwed.
Bubba and Joey basically ruined each other's day by getting into each other. They didn't get a whole lot of stage points. Christopher Bell Christopher Belled it. One mistake after another. McDowell got caught up in Kyle Busch's stupid crap with him and his teammate.
You think Kyle can win a championship this year?
Not in this car.
I don't think so.
I don't think RCR is consistent enough to get him there. I honestly thought Kyle had a better shot of winning Darlington. I thought Kyle goes in and wins Darlington. That sets him up to get to the next round easily. But yeah, Denny Hamlin do Denny Hamlin things.
Now Kyle can just chill out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Harvick with unlucky break, Stenhouse. But who didn't have a bad day yesterday? Finished
I don't think
17th.
Ryan
Carson Hocevar.
Blaney didn't have a bad day either.
No,
he lost the rear end once.
He was fast in practice too. They said. Hocevar finished 17th. What about that?
That's awesome.
That's the second highest finish in that car's done all season, and it's his second race. He ran that car better than Noah Gragson. And me and Brandon talking this morning, and we got a theory. Brandon really has a theory, and I actually agree with him, but he thinks maybe the next-gen car actually hurts you more than it helps you now, because there's the next-gen car and the Cup car have absolutely nothing in common except they both have 4 wheels. So he's thinking...
They have a steering wheel, too.
Yeah. Well,
and exhaust.
Hocevar goes from the truck, which is more like the Cup car, He does better. And then you had like Noah Gregson. He spent so much time in that Xfinity car, it did him a disservice with the new car. So then this year, Noah sucked in it because he's used to that Xfinity car, which begs the question, how's Josh Berry going to do next year in Stuart Haas? If they go to Chevy, I think Berry will be okay.
Time will tell, Brad. Time will
I think
tell.
Haley Deegan, Brandon even said he agrees with this, or he thinks Haley Deegan should go to the Xfinity Series, but I agree. I think the Xfinity car suits her style more than the Cup car will, or more than the truck will.
She has Harrison Burton luck, too.
I think she brings on some of her luck, though. I don't think she did great in the ARCA car, and she does good in the Xfinity car when she's in it. I think she'll do better in Xfinity than she does in the trucks. I don't think she has a future in the Cup car at all. I just don't. It just doesn't fit her style of driving.
Maybe she goes motorcycles like her daddy.
Maybe. Her brother's kicking, doing really good, kicking major butt in Supercross this year. So, one race in, the guys who are out, you got Michael McDowell's 19 points out, Ricky Stenhouse 4 points out, Kevin Harvick 2, Bubba Wallace 1. That means Christopher Bell is +1, Joey Logano's +3, Chastain's +13, and Blaney is +16. Do you think any of these bottom four make it in?
No.
I think Bubba does. I think Bubba.
McDowell has a chance.
No.
Yeah, in Concord on the Roval.
No, but you got Kansas next week and then Bristol.
I think he's got a chance at Bristol,
so
too.
He's got to win Bristol.
I'm not going to pick him, though.
I think Bubba wins next week at Kansas.
Kansas?
Yep.
You think?
Yeah. He did last year. He won at Kansas.
Yeah, he did.
I think.
I don't think Ricky makes it on to the next level.
I think Kyle Busch wins at. Kyle Busch or Chris Buescher wins at Bristol.
I'm going to tell you, Kyle Busch ain't going on the next level.
You don't think Kyle Busch makes
eliminated?
It? Well, he's +20, so
Denny's getting eliminated too.
Doubtful. He's +27. He's good.
The top for 7, sure. They're not getting busted down.
I think Ricky and McDowell go home for sure.
I think after Brad, you got problems. Brad's even on the teeter-totter.
All right, Jamie. If we were going to Kansas, which motels would we not want to stay in without saying their name?
Well, this one, I don't know. You might want to stay there, but just not.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Cool.
Tony Stark is her brother.
Yeah.
By marriage.
I didn't know Hope was his sister's name.
It's her brother by marriage.
That would be stepbrother.
She even gave the hotel 4 out of 5.
Well, from what you told me,
I did a lot of Googling while I was reading this, and I don't think Hope's a liar because everything I found to be plausible. The problem is, I'm not sure I don't know. It was bizarre. This is a new thing for us. It's seance.
Well, we've had ghosts in a room one time.
We had that lady have sex with a ghost. She drove specifically while her husband was on a business trip to have sex with a ghost.
Yeah, this is just something.
Then we found out it was a parking lot. A listener told us, that's a parking lot now. Can't have sex with that ghost.
Yeah. I tore the hotel down.
Yeah.
The ghost was just spreading it around.
I think it had gonorrhea.
Too many ghost kids running
around.
Can
you get gonorrhea or syphilis from a ghost?
Maybe.
I've never experienced ghost love.
Or gonorrhea.
This was just a month ago, too.
All right.
4 out of 5. Some stuff smashed on showerhead. Okay. This is weird. But look, I looked at it, and I was like, eh.
Ugh.
I just kept looking at it like, eh.
Yeah.
In weird position and hard to adjust. Best shower of my vacation so far. Wow. So was it like a tomato smashed on the head of the shower? What was it?
It's probably like lime buildup.
Good shampoo and products.
Well,
Somebody used all the towels. Does that mean there was other people before, or they just didn't change them?
Maybe it's a communal shower.
TV a bit small for distance away from bed, so when I watched Kingsman, the violent action scenes were not as impactful. Okay. Should also be closer because I thought Samuel L. Jackson was RuPaul for a second due to the distance. Otherwise, good though. Weird stuff under glass on table. Not super clean, but also looked crusted on there, so not your fault. Thought that but maybe a little because you probably could have cleaned it. I like the lights on the roof of the hotel that said president. Well, now you know the hotel.
Not really.
Well, it's in Kansas City. The light said president.
Maybe they're saying the
Let me know that's where I was staying. So she was reminded constantly.
Yeah.
Very confused about drum room. Saw no drums there.
That is confusing.
Uber driver said she would give bar 0 stars. So she's drinking with her Uber driver?
Yeah.
I think because she said she wished they had food, but they didn't.
That's
so she was drinking, couldn't remember if that was really what was said, I guess. Uber driver also looked at weird, crazy building when we asked about it and said she didn't know what it was. So maybe said something about her opinion on bar because she doesn't not have a very curious mind. Her Uber profile said she had been working for Uber almost 5 years.
You read people's Uber profiles, huh?
It's kind of wordy.
Hope's a little weird.
We stayed in room 1046 on the 10th floor.
Yeah.
We brought our Ouija board to communicate with Roland T. Owen, who was murdered in that room in January 2, 1935. So I Googled this.
So this is a historic hotel.
Yes, but I Googled this.
Yeah.
Roland T. Owen is an unsolved murder.
Okay.
It really happened. He was brutally murdered. He was stabbed to death. It was reported that a very attractive commercial woman was looking for a client for hours but couldn't find him. So I Googled commercial woman.
That's a
prostitute.
Yeah. I was wondering what that was too, but
you think I should clean my history? Think I'm going to start getting weird things? Because I Googled a lot of this stuff.
You're going to get weird friend requests on Facebook now.
That's where I come in. Follow the dotted lines. I'm the hottest commercial woman in town.
Huh.
So, she's a commercial woman. I've never heard this term before until I read this review.
Neither have
I love that title.
Commercial women and Ouija boards.
My skill set is unparalleled. I'm booked solid for months in advance. I'm proud of my profession.
Unparalleled skill set.
I make 7 figures a year. So I Googled, can a prostitute make 7 figures a year? It's possible. A high-end prostitute.
Jamie over here is on LinkedIn looking up prostitutes.
Yeah.
May I ask you a question, commercial woman? How much do you make a year, ma'am?
No, I just Google it.
What is the yearly income of a prostitute?
You cannot make that at Epstein Island because you did it for free, I think, and were brainwashed. I'm also a ghost hunter. I'm the bait for Roland's spirit.
Okay.
We pull out the Ouija board and start calling Roland's spirit. I'm in my best Reina strappy open cup bra set. I Googled that. Dude.
What is an open cup bra set?
So
Jamie?
It holds the breast up, but there's nothing covering the breast.
So nothing, you see.
I found it very attractive. And
did you buy one?
Well, I'm going to go to Amazon and see if they have it. Put it in the cart and see if my wife orders it. Yeah, get the Chinese knockoff.
I need Rihanna.
We put EVPs around me. Now, I watch early on Saturday morning on the Travel Channel.
I got an EVP app.
So these are what you find ghost with.
Yeah.
Or lights up and rings or whatever.
The
medium starts to conjure up the spirit of Roland, and the Ouija board starts with no one touching it. It spells dick.
Like Richard?
Now, I only played Ouija once. I thought you had to hold the triangle.
I thought you were going to say you only played with dick once.
Well, personally, my own, I'm going to take the fifth. I don't think it's against the law, though. I take the fifth on playing.
I was sitting there in my underwear playing with my wiener and playing Ouija board.
And we asked, did Dick kill you? Answer, no. Who is Dick? He replies, I want Dick. We reply, who is Dick? We ask. Next thing we know is Chris the medium screams out that his dick is being rubbed. We all go and look at Chris's crotch, and sure enough, it looks like an invisible hand is rubbing his pants. Who knows? Did some anti-gay vigilantes kill you in 1935? I think there probably were it's probably a Klan. They hated everything back in 1935. Poor Roland. You just wanted to live your life. I wish you were around now. You were born too early. So I guess she's
that's
admitting.
What she's thinking happened, that Roland was killed by the
she's thinking
Klan?
that, or anti-gay people, vigilantes.
So she's thinking Roland was gay?
That's what she's thinking.
Did you look up Roland T. Orslow? What was his last name?
I did. He was really killed. Roland T. Roland.
Roland T. Roland?
Or whatever his name was.
Owen. Roland T. Owen.
Yeah, he was murdered. You can Google it.
Oh,
Might not want to Google the coupleless brawl.
I'm not.
Lingerie.
I mean, you ordered
I'm going to start getting weird ads. Actually, I got a weird ad when I went to Amazon.
You're Googling lingerie, hookers, and Ouija boards.
Oh, can hookers make over $1 million a year is what I put.
You're going to get Ouija. You're going to get weird, really, really
Guess
weird.
where it threw me to? Reddit. Apparently hookers are on Reddit.
For all there's a lot of, well, I mean, I get all of our stories basically come off Reddit every week, so there's a lot on Reddit. Right.
But I'm going to start getting foreigners requesting my friendship on Facebook.
Foreigners?
I'm pretty sure.
Like the band?
You think you got... Oh, yeah. I forgot. You're Jimmy Buffett in The Foreigner?
I know who Foreigner is, but I couldn't tell you one song.
You're as cold as ice. Are you willing to sacrifice?
Cold as ice.
That's all I know. That's it. Are you willing to sacrifice? Nice tie there. Nice, quick tie together. Ice, cold.
Cooking white rice.
On a frying pan?
Maybe. In a van.
With no...
Down by the river.
Pam? By the river.
Foreigner. Yeah.
So I'm not going to give the brand, but this is a Wyndham, once again.
Just call it the Prostitute Dope Hotel like he did.
Yeah, that's what he called it.
I'm assuming this is a he. Is his name Kansas City?
Yeah, this is all in Kansas City.
Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri?
I don't know. You know, there's a distinct line. It's called the river.
Yeah.
Between the two.
You know that river leads right down to your anus.
Yeah, it does.
Then you get a wet anus.
Is that from excitement? Or is that the after party?
I think it's if you go to the fudge factory in Uranus and you eat too much fudge from Uranus, you'll get wet in Uranus.
I saw that LBJ was the first famous person to eat fudge at Uranus.
Really?
Yeah. Or in Uranus. Is that where we'd eat
president?
it? LBJ?
Isn't that his name?
I just saw the initials. I don't know.
Wasn't he a president?
Yeah.
Lincoln Bartholomew.
Justice.
Oh, he played baseball for the Braves.
Yeah, he did. He did that too. He was president and played baseball.
Yeah. Lyndon.
BJ. That's
Johnson.
Well, just said LBJ. I don't know. He gave a very positive review.
Lyndon Johnson. It's got to be it.
LBJ gave a very positive review of Uranus, Brad.
LBJ likes Uranus fudge.
Or was it Uranus? It's not my anus. It's Uranus.
No, it's Uranus. It specifically says Uranus fudge.
All right.
We saw the sign at 3 a.m.
So when we go ride a train with Brandon, should we stop at Uranus? We should plan our trip so when they're open instead
I don't
of
think
3
his trains run from Seattle to Uranus.
No, in our car to go ride the train with Brandon.
we go through Uranus?
We go through Uranus.
Got to go through Uranus to get to the train.
With the death of the snail, we might have to do it in your Mini Cooper.
We might die in Uranus.
That'll only carry a 6-pack of Red Bull. We're going to have to monetize this.
It gets awfully hot in that Mini Cooper.
Well, that's good since we're going wintertime.
Fudge on milk.
Anyways, this is Wyndham. Brad and I have volunteered. Yeah, this is where this was. The prostitute Dope Hotel. Brad and I have volunteered to do inspections for 7 figures.
Yeah.
We'll make high society prostitute money. We would be prostituting
Commercial
ourselves
women.
out. Yeah.
Commercial women hotel inspectors.
Yeah. Our wives might get upset if we're inspecting commercial women and not hotel rooms.
No, that's how we get them to call us.
Oh, okay.
That's the name. We're not really commercial women, and we don't even hire commercial women. But that's our name, so they're like, oh, we're going to get us commercial
I might
women.
get confused with my non-binary haircut.
Your lesbian haircut?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So anyway, Roland says, there were burn holes on the bedspreads and floor. Our 4-year-old child gets into everything. He crawled under the bed and came out the other side with some kind of white rocks or crystal embedded on his face. And he also found what appeared to be a crack pipe. After 30 minutes later, he started zipping around the room. He opened his suitcase and threw everything out. Then proceeded to open his mother's suitcase and threw everything out.
Richard Pryor, calm down.
Then went to mine. He jumped up on the dresser, kicking the lamps off of it. He had superhuman strength
PCP.
and was super fast. We couldn't catch him. He totally destroyed the room. Ran over and grabbed a water bottle and started slinging water all over the place. Sounds like Moon Eye guy.
Yeah.
We thought we should call for medical help. Didn't realize we could end up in jail, even though we didn't get him high. After 3 hours, he calmed down. The neighbors were beating on the wall, telling us to be quiet. After our son crashed, we checked the sheets before climbing in. He put an exclamation point instead of an I.
I know.
Exclamation point found crusted semen on the sheet under the bedspread. Once Sherman passed out, I guess that's their son's name, me and his mother decided to add some crust. We tore it up. This dude is trash.
There's no way.
This dude is trailer park trash. This got his son high on meth and then bangs his mother in the
uncrusted
sheets. It's a must for a shower to wear flippers. Bathroom is not clean. This is a prostitute and dope hotel, accompanied with a few out-of-state unaware guests. Good thing is that it's close to the interstate.
Yeah, that's it.
And there's free oatmeal and cereal. Coffee and waffles are no good. 1 star.
Coffee and waffles suck. But I tell you what, that crack my son got into, boy,
that could be fentanyl. He was buzzing all over the place like a bumblebee.
First off, you call for medical assistance immediately. The hotel, they're going to come there and notice the crack rock under the bed and the crack pipe under the bed.
Meth pipe in your son's mouth. Like, Sherman's mouth.
And then when your son crashes from his cocaine high,
you decide to have sex.
I think I have sex with his mama on these dirty crusted sheets.
Semen crusted sheets.
And then you're going to complain about the shower, but I had sex with his mama
on waffles suck.
Dirty crusty sheets, and then I had to get my flip flops out to take a shower.
Sherman spit out the waffles at us.
Then we went and had waffles, and they was no good.
Then we went to the race. It was playoffs.
Playoff race. Kurt Busch won. Go Junior. Roll Tide. All right. We are going to Kansas. Or we're not, but they're racing in Kansas. Race is at 3 p.m. It's going to be on USA and MRN Radio. It is a 1.5.
Is it an oval, Brad?
Is it 1.5. 1 point. It's a 1.5 mile oval. The last race here, the top 10, and their 3 race average finish after.
Didn't Denny win there in the spring with some controversy?
Yeah. Denny Hamlin, average finish 2.3. Kyle Larson, average finish 4.0. William Byron, average finish 8.3. Bubba Wallace, average finish of 5.0. Chastain, average finish 6.3. Joey Logano, average finish 13.3. Chase Elliott, average finish 15.7. Martin Truex Jr., average finish 6.3. Tyler Reddick, average finish 24.7. And Austin Dillon, average finish of 12.3. Jamie, you won.
You get the pick.
You won last week.
What's the score?
You won. So Jamie won Daytona, and then he won Darlington yesterday as well. The overall score is you with 1,105 and me with 1,219. The lower score wins.
I thought you were going to wipe me off the floor when Hamlin was just tearing it up.
I did too. Yesterday I had Bell, Logano, and Hamlin for a total of 60 points. Jamie had Bush, Truex, and Chastain for a total of 34 points. Like I said, the lower number wins. So I get to pick first. I've already made my picks, so let me just read them off to you. Out of the top 10, I'm going to go with Larson.
Okay.
Out of 11 through 20th, I'm going to go with Martin Truex Jr. And out of 21st to 36th, I'm going to go with Mr. Dennis Hamlin.
You ain't making it, dude. You ain't doing it.
Look, their average finish here in the last 3 races, Hamlin 2.3, Larson 4.0, Truex 6.3. That would be 4, 5, 6, 12 points. That would help me drastically improve if they just do their average. Now, they'll probably get caught up in a 3-car wreck. And so who are you going to go with there?
Well, you know, Chastain kind of scared me with my pick last week, and then he pulled off a top 5.
Yeah? So you're going to go with him again?
He's got momentum. Yep, Ross.
All right, Ross.
The mid-10?
11 through 20?
I am going to go with...
I am feeling like a rose that somebody gave me
going
on
with
deathbed. I am.
I don't know. This is really hard to come up with. I think Harvick's done for the year. I'm going with Kyle.
Kyle.
He screwed you this week.
Kyle
Larson. No, Bush.
Bush.
Psych. Kyle Busch.
I got Larson.
I'm going Kyle Busch.
All right. You're going with the Bush.
There really ain't much to pick from in the bottom. The bottom feeders.
Yeah, I mean, Corey's there. Christopher Bell. Gilligan. Ryan.
I'm going with Christopher Bell.
Ryan Priest.
Christopher Bell.
Ty Dillon.
He was slamming.
JJ Yele.
He was slamming.
Austin Shindrick. Michael McDougall.
Cindric's done.
Alex DeBuman.
You know, Cindric hasn't won since the 500.
You could go with BJ McLeod.
Yeah, he's always in 36th place,
So
Brad.
you going with Bell?
Bell.
All right.
I guess I could have picked Ty Dillon. He did pretty well this time.
Nobody ever.
He was not in the 30 to 36. He came up with a top 30 finish.
Well, Chastain has a 6.3 finish here. Bush, I don't have because he didn't finish in the top 10, and neither did Bell. But where did they finish that last Kansas race?
Well, let's look.
We've got the status over here. Kyle Busch finished 35th, and Christopher Bell finished.
Oh, they're right there. Right there together. 35th and 36th. This could be your chance to catch up, Brad.
Great picks, man. Awesome.
You could catch up.
Well, dang, man, that's all I got for this Labor Day extravaganza episode number 74, dedicated to our friend Brandon.
You know, next week's 75. That's 75. A milestone.
It is.
Or what is that? Your diamond anniversary?
It's like 3/4.
3/4 of one. 0.75%.
If I had 3/4, I would have 75 cents.
And you need to bring quarters for our trip to Bristol.
To the Mooneye.
Yeah, give them. We don't want to have them run and slap a dollar bill in our face when we're.
We don't even know.
What car are we even taking?
I was about to say, it depends. If you get a Prius between now and then, we're taking your new Prius.
I'm going to look at one more Prius, and if this thing's a hoopty, I'm starting to realize the Snail was one of the best second-gen Priuses out there.
Well, it would be cool to take the Element because we could camp, not like camp, but tailgate in it easy. Because we're going to be at the track all day. So we can set up a little tailgate at the...
We're going to leave the car behind.
I know. I'd say we'd take cornhole and a tent and everything in the Element, but we'll probably take, I don't know, Kia or the Honda.
I'm thinking of Scion XB. People hate them, and it's really just a Toyota.
What? Oh, a
Scion XB. It's kind of like the Element, but not jacked up like the Element. It's closer to the ground.
Yeah, where the hamsters drove it, right?
Yeah.
In the commercial.
No, I think that was a Kia Element. Soul.
Seoul. South Korea, Seoul.
Maybe a soul. I don't know.
Well, that's all I got this week. You got anything
Wearing
else?
Pikachu costumes.
You got some Pikachu? You need to wear a Pikachu costume on episode 100.
This episode sponsored by LBJ in Uranus. Fudge.
The greatest president of all time?
The greatest fudge factory in the world.
Oh,
Uranus.
Well, we had their fudge. It was mediocre.
Self-proclaimed.
But it's like the name is what it does. I mean,
We're self-proclaimed greatest independent racing podcast.
we're going to open up a cornfield,
Cornhole.
a corn maze in Uranus, Georgia, unincorporated. So you can get corn in Uranus too.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
I think it's a great idea. We can all we got to do is buy like 20 acres and call it Uranus Unincorporated Uranus.
The city of you know what? We could incorporate it legally as a business and call it the city of Uranus, Georgia Incorporated.
Okay.
And then they can't. We won't
Can't
be
we
an
use
actual city.
Can we use your mom's land for this?
We need to be near the interstate.
She's not far.
Yes, she is. She's a long ways from the interstate.
That's a lot of Uranus billboards, though, to get us there.
There are no billboards between my house and town. I don't think it's allowed.
Well, we're going to ask. Is her land right by your house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was somewhere else.
No.
You know anybody with land by the interstate?
Well, there's a guy that has a corn maze
You think?
along the interstate in Forsyth. Do you think he would change the name to Uranus and sell fudge?
How much do you think he'd charge us for that corn maze? We want to buy the business, incorporate it as Uranus, Georgia, and sell fudge there. No, we're not selling fudge in Uranus. We're selling corn for Uranus.
What if we sold
That's corn with a K in Uranus.
frozen yogurt? Froyo for Uranus.
Fro-yo-anus.
Yeah.
Fro-yo-anus.
We'll get a tight little cone.
Fro-anus.
Chocolate cone.
I still like corn in Uranus.
Well, I don't want it in mine. I'd rather be in Uranus.
What if we had a mud bogging pit? Come get mud in
You can
Uranus.
slide down Uranus.
Mud slide in Uranus.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm telling you, we have all kind of Uranus puns we could go with here.
Yeah.
That's better than a liquor store. We'll open up a Uranus.
How about a liquor store in Uranus? Liquor-anus. I mean, that's wrong. Lick Uranus.
Come get some lick Uranus. Well, thanks to everybody who listens
Can
every
you
week.
make 7 figures licking anuses?
Ooh, don't Google that.
I'm not Googling. I'm going to have all kinds of porn popping up.
Your internet is going to be, your ads on your phone are going to be as bad as my Amazon card.
I'm going to find Facebook ads for prostitutes on marketplaces. I'm looking for a car.
You're already getting these foreigners trying to come over and marry you.
Expensive prostitutes.
Wanting to marry you.
That's because that Google, well,
I'm not Googling.
what's that free?
I'm not Googling anything you tell me to Google.
Get you a VPN and Google whatever the name of that lady's lingerie was called. It's sexy.
Rayon.
Rayon.
You can just show me after the show.
I didn't do it on my phone.
You've already Googled
I
it.
did on my Chromebook.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody who listens, watches the show, and shares us on social media each week and with your friends. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. If you're on our YouTube channel right now, make sure you subscribe, like our videos, like our shorts, like this video. Check out our other ones. Rate us on Spotify. Make sure you also follow us on Spotify now as well. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review like Brandon did. Or you can send us a DM, or for all you smart people, you're more than welcome to email us at racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. We do read those emails, so please email us.
And, unfortunately, we had a fan. They figured out the code for our work emails. Don't do that, please.
And check out our merch store at racecarbackwards.com or racecarbackwards.threadless.com. Other than that, that's all I got. Y'all have a great Labor Day, and we will see you at episode 75 next week.
And 74, Brandon, is for you.
74, Brandon. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Keep driving that train.
And let us know if we can go on a train ride.
We want to ride on your train, Brandon.
All right. Y'all have a great week. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.